Right. Okay. All right. So before I go for today's discussion, I wanted to ask you: do you have any questions or any concerns from the with respect to the syllabus or any course? Anything you wanted to ask before I proceed further for today? Okay, I'll take it as a no, as silence, right? So feel free to stop me anywhere, and don't think that you are asking a simple question, right? So everybody is new to this Azure, right? Nobody is experts here. Feel free to stop me anywhere and ask any question, even it is a simple or silly, right? Don't think it is a simple. For others, it can be a more than simple, right? When sometimes I
Mm,
don't know a few things, I will also learn from you guys. Okay, don't think
mm,
I'm a trainer. Just think that I'm your colleague, and we are, we are getting a project, and we are learning to implement that project. Okay, our motivation
okay,
should be like that. Okay.
okay.
So just to reiterate, this is the syllabus that is for your reference. There are around 25 topics that we are covering, and I'm sure to remember the 25 topics is kind of a difficulty, and we will be talking more than 25 topics throughout this course. So that is why we always go with an agenda, right? If I say a traffic manager or a CDN or application gateway, they are very new to you, right? If I
Mm,
talk about definitions, definitely it is going to be a difficulty for you. You cannot understand anything. So that is the reason I always go with some kind of agenda, so that you will understand. Okay, that is your target. To achieve to the target, we will learn one by one component, so that at the end you will be able to reach the target, right? So I'm not talking in terms of sales, but I will talk in terms of more of an infrastructure. Okay, let us say one of your customer would like to have web servers running on Azure, right? They have a website developed, and the website should be, let me put the values here, they should be highly available, right? The website should be highly available, and the website should be scalable. So when I say scalable, let us say that you created a server with a less configuration. Okay, let us say 1 GB of RAM, right? And later you are seeing a lot of users are requesting the website, right? They are accessing the website. You might think, well, 1 GB website is 1 GB server is not sufficient to process your customer's request. Now you wanted to go for a higher size. How do you easily scale, from 1 GB to 10 GB or 100 GB, right, of RAM, right? Kind of a scalable solution. It should be seamless for the customer, right? They should not see any difficulties, right? How do you ensure that high availability is in place? How do you ensure the scalability is in their place? And how do you reduce the cost? Because we are moving to the cloud, and everybody have assumption that if I move to the cloud, it should be the way they have to reduce the cost, right? And since it is in a Microsoft data center, right? It is, what is cloud, right? We are deploying our machines in Microsoft data center and managing the data center virtually from anywhere, right? How do you ensure that security in place, right? So this is another aspects, right? And how do you have a load balancing solutions in place, right? Do you have any automation kind of things in place, right? When you go for a customer, they will have these questions in their mind, and you have to design a solution or provide a solution by looking into all these aspects, right? We'll try to design an infrastructure solution for this requirement. Okay, let us say what our customer has told. Okay, they have a web server, right? Let us say I have a web server one. Okay, this is my web server. I wanted to build a high availability for the web server. So what I'll do, okay, for the before that, to build a website, right, to make sure that website is running, we need a virtual machine in place. We need to get a virtual machine, so that we can deploy our websites inside a virtual machine, right? We will create two servers, because if one server going down, I will have another server highly available. That is how I provide high availability solution for my customer. Okay, So how do you ensure that, if one server going down, you have another server up and running and highly available, right? In Azure, we have a concept of availability set. I'm not sure whether you have heard about it. Okay, we will learn about availability set or availability zone. With this concept, you are going to provide high availability for your virtual machines running on Azure. Availability set and availability zone. Okay, and your virtual machines will be part of a subnet and a virtual network. You will learn what is virtual network, what is subnet. Okay, let me put the values here. This is your subnet and this is your virtual network. In short, we will say as a VNet in the Azure. In the AWS, we say VPC or virtual private cloud. Now here we say virtual network. Now, okay, we are just talking about this, right? Going forward, you will learn what is virtual machine, how do you create a virtual machine, why do you need to create a virtual machine, what are the prerequisites to create a virtual machine, what are the things that you have to consider before you creating a virtual machine. When I say those aspects, right, under which location I have to create a virtual machine for my business requirement, right? And what should be the naming convention, and what is the operating system I have to choose, what are the available operating system, do I have a Windows Server operating system, do I have a Linux operating systems, right? So which one is more suitable for my business, right? We'll discuss all those aspects, right? But that will take some time for sure, right? So but end of the day, we will create a server, we will install the web service role, right? We'll make sure that our website is published to the internet, and will ensure that we have high availability in place, and we are securing the virtual machine by keeping them in a virtual network, and we get a IP address because we need to access the VM, right? So to access the virtual machine, we need to have IP address. There is a concept of IP address. You will learn more about IP address, right? Whenever you create a virtual machine, you can have a two IP address. One is the private IP, the other one is the public IP. These two IP addresses you will have for your virtual machines. Okay, you can use any, I mean, either you can use a public IP or not, that is up to us based on the business requirement, right? We'll use them. I mean, you will learn what is public IP, what is private IP going forward. Okay, to secure your Azure environment, right? So just to ensure that we are not giving full access to the hackers, right? We wanted to ensure that only specific communications are allowed, right? So for that, we have another concept of network security group. Maybe you don't know this concept, but you will learn this because with the NSGs or network security groups, you are going to provide security in place. So I'm designing this based on these factors. Okay, high availability, security in place, right? All these things I'm designing based on that. Okay, and going forward, you learn depth of what is energy, what is VNet, what is subnet. At the end, you are going to design a such kind of solution to your customer. And we mentioned that we have a website running, right? Let us say this is the web in this servers, same website is running. Okay, so what we will do is, to ensure that our customers' requests are routed to high available server, we have another concept of load balancer. Okay, we say that as an external load balancer. In short, we say ELB. Whenever your user is trying to access from his laptop, let us say he's trying to access from here, right? The request will go to the load balancer, from the load balancer to the available server. This is how the concept, right? So we'll ensure that these servers are load balanced, highly available. Just in case if this server was one is down, load balancer will automatically route your customer request to the server too. Such kind of high availability solutions we are going to build, right? And you will learn what is load balancer as well, right? Hope you are able to follow me, guys. I mean, just trying to tell you the agenda of this entire course, right? I'm just taking all of these and building a solution. Ravi or Shahalu, any questions so far?
Oh no.
Okay, you're able to follow. That's really nice.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, let us say there are a few requirements. Nowadays you might have heard a lot of things about ransomware attack, right? What if this server is attacked by a hacker, though you have security in place, right? Maybe one of your user logged in from a different network, and he just opened one of the malicious site. From there he got a ransomware attack, right? So, and that is one scenario. Let us say one of your administrator who logged into Azure console, and he just click on delete option. If the VM is deleted, right, there is no way to restore by default, right? So he just want to test, if I click on delete, whether it will give ask me to say yes or no, or it will delete, right? If I click on yes, will it give a warning? Maybe there are few rogue administrators, right? They don't know, and they just wanted to keep on try, right? They just click on delete. VM is deleted. Maybe your VM is attacked by ransomware attack. That is nowhere exist. I mean, though it does exist, it cannot be accessible, right? How do you provide business continuity solutions? It's in such scenarios, right? We have a Azure backup service. Okay, with the Azure backup service, you can provide high availability for your virtual machines, which means that in case if VM is deleted because of any reason, maybe if VM is compromised by ransomware attack, right? You can regularly back up the server. In case if something happened to the server, you can restore from the backup, so that you have confidence in that you have the old data at least, right? That is called backup. Let us say there are few requirements, guys. You have your own data center. In Azure, we say that is your on premises. Okay, you always keep on hearing this. This is not an Azure. In your own data center, you have your own servers which are running, right? Maybe it can be a SharePoint server. It can be any reporting servers, right? It can be a Windows server, web servers, database, anything, right? So they are running, and there is a requirement to migrate the server to Azure, right? How do you migrate them to Azure? We have another service called Azure Site Recovery. Okay, with the help of Azure Site Recovery, we are going to replicate or migrate or provide disaster recovery solutions for your on-premises data center servers to the Azure. If there is a requirement that you need to migrate these three servers to Azure, or more than three or hundreds of servers, what is the process that we follow, right? What if there is an issue comes? How do you fix the issue, right? So end-to-end process we will be speaking, and if there is an issue comes, how do you troubleshoot, right? What logs you will validate? We will discuss in detail about them. Even in terms of backups, what is the process to backup? How does the process to restore? If the backup fail or restore fail, what logs you have to verify, and how do you troubleshoot, right? So that you will not find difficulty when you get into any project or when you're going for the interview. In the interviews, they'll simply ask you what is availability set, what is availability zone, what is energy, what is backup, how do you migrate from on-premises to Azure, what is load balancer, right? So since you are going to understand the concept in depth, and you are going to implement them, it's not going to be difficulty for you to handle the interviews. It's not going to be difficulty to implement, and it's not going to be difficult to troubleshoot, because you will know how to troubleshoot the issues going forward. Okay, this is in terms of migration. This is in terms of the backup solutions. If something happened to your original server, you can restore from the backup. Likewise, we have multiple services. We have a automation account is in place. Okay, Azure automation account. So with this, we are going to build few PowerShell scripts. Okay, so I am going to teach you from the beginning, how do you write Azure PowerShell script. I mean, like, to manage the Azure services, how do you create a PowerShell script, right? How do you ensure that you have enough skills to manage the Azure environment with the PowerShell scripting? We'll teach you, and it is not a big deal. You will learn throughout this course. Okay, let us say I want to create 10 VMs at a time, right? How do I write the scripts, right? That is something that I'm going to teach you. And since there are like these only two servers you're seeing in the screen, but in the real time you will have thousands of servers, right? If there are thousands of servers, how do you ensure that there are like all the monitors in place, right? Let us say one of the server having 90% of memory utilization. If the memory utilization is greater than 90%, you might see some issues with the server performance issues, or maybe customers cannot access the application or a website, right? So we have few monitorings available. We have a service called Azure Monitor and Azure Log Analytics workspace, where we can create some kind of dashboards. Here you are going to learn a language, Kusto query language query. You learn this query so that you can create some dashboards or kind of a workbooks, so to have some kind of great visibility on all the monitors. Let us say that VM is getting rebooted by because of Azure end, right? Maybe your virtual machine is experiencing the CPU issues or memory issues. All the details you can monitor from this Azure Monitor or Kusto query language, right? These are the some of the examples, right? So likewise, you have a requirement to upload your on-premises data to Azure. So we have a service called Azure Storage. Okay, so that is the storage solution that Microsoft is providing. Okay, you upload data to the storage. Not only the uploading the data, even your virtual machine backup data, your replication data, or your virtual machine VHDs, everything is stored in a storage. We'll try to learn what is storage and how it is going to help you, right? So there are scenarios, team. We need to. I don't know whether you are aware of the patching, right? In your laptop also you'll update the Windows update, right? When you go to the updates, you'll see a lot of Windows updates pending to provide security for your servers, right? To secure your environment, Microsoft always recommend to go with the updates or install the patches on your server. We'll also learn about how do you provide the patching solution, right? Azure patching with the help of update manager. Okay, we'll talk about this. It's another kind of interesting topic. You will learn a lot. Okay, so we'll discuss in detail about the patching. Okay, likewise, we have more services. Let us say that we have load balancers. We spoke about as a ELB. We have a traffic manager, which is again a load balancing solution. We have a content delivery networks. We'll speak in detail about the content delivery network. We have Azure security centers, security center, and we do have Azure advisory solutions. Okay, and if there is an issue comes, right, one of your server is not able to RDP, you did all your troubleshooting and later you need to fix further, right? Since it is running in Microsoft data center, you can always reach out to Microsoft for any further help. So what is the process that you follow to reach out to Microsoft? Apart from Microsoft, what are the different free support forums available? We'll speak about them, right? So likewise, you have Azure SQL database, SQL database, and we do have a PaaS component, like where you don't need to build any server. So likewise, we have Azure App Services. We just need to develop application from our Visual Studio. I will teach you how to develop a sample application and put them in Azure, so that you can get some development experience as well, like I mentioned. So in the demo, we'll also talk about Azure Logic Apps, which is again another developer service, and you don't need any coding experience for these, but you only need few logics, which I will be teaching you. Azure Functions is another concept where you are going to learn a lot. Okay, and along with these, you are going to also learn, Azure Active Directory. This is another big topic that you are going to learn, and it's going to be very interesting as well. You might be heard about single sign-on or application integrations, right? Configuring multi-factor authentication. Such kind of interesting things are going to be configured in the Azure Active Directory. Along with this, we will also learn a bit more on Office 365 and Microsoft Intune, right? So there are like few other extra topics that I'm going to cover to add more weight to your profile. Okay. Likewise, you have, that's why you see here, right? That 25 topics which I've mentioned, but this is not, you know limited. Okay. But it is like we can keep on exploring more and more going forward. Okay. And each module have a detailed content on what we are learning, and what this will be your day-to-day responsibility. If I ask you, right, you will be responsible for starting restarting the VM, taking the snapshot of your VM, creating a VM from the snapshot. So these are the regular operation that you are going to perform, right? So that you will be learning throughout this course. Along with this, there are requirements to set up some VPN from your on-premises or your corporate network. How do we set up a site-to-site VPN? And if there are any remote user, they wanted to connect to server securely, we'll set up the point-to-site VPN. So how do we set up the point-to-site VPN, site-to-site VPN, right? We'll learn in detail about these, and that's going to be a syllabus, and that's going to be a learning, right? It's not like definition we are going through it. So going forward, we'll start with the Azure subscription first, because if you wanted to build anything, the first place to learn or first place to get into is the subscription, right? So we need to have a free trial account subscription. I don't know whether you can get it or not. We need to get a free trial subscription. Once you have free trial subscription, we learn what are the subscription types we have, and how, I mean, what does the hierarchy of resource deployments, right? If you wanted to create a server, what does the hierarchy, right? If you wanted to provide somebody else access to your Azure subscription or Azure resources, what is the process that we follow, right? We'll discuss those on those lines, and in the day one or day two sessions, and later we'll start speaking about the virtual machine. Once you understand what is virtual machine and Azure data center architecture, right? When you wanted to create a virtual machine, how the virtual machine is getting provisioned, we'll discuss about that. Then we'll go for the network components, then we'll slowly go for the monitoring, then go for the patching, then go for the backup, then we'll speak about migration aspects, right? And we'll speak about AV set, energies, traffic manager. So one till you complete module 3, it's kind of bit important topics, and I need your dedication for from tomorrow onwards, so 1 hour session for the learning from me, 1 hour session for a recap or practice from your end. If you do it right for a couple of days, let's say 10 to 15 sessions, then you will be completing till module 6, and you are perfectly fine to put your resume if needed. Okay. And remaining all, like we can spend one day each, right, to complete the other topics, but till module 6 5, it is really critical for us, module 6, not 5. I'll just stop here, and I'll ask the team any questions you have so far. Sahalu or Ravi, I just wanted to connect with you today, and tell you what will be our learning, what are we going to learn, right? What will be our agenda? I just wanted to check. Do you have any concerns with this concept, this approach? I don't know. Are you able to follow this? Now you understood. You are going to set up this. If I start talking about, let us say, availability set, now you know what is the purpose of availability set, right? Because you can
Yes.
visualize the things. That's a more important thing that I wanted to convey. Okay. So any
Yes.
questions so far?
No.
Okay. So one request from you both, right? We to practice the labs, we need to have a Azure subscription. To get a Azure subscription, right? We need Microsoft gives one account for one user, one free trial account for one user. So I have already used around 15 to 20 accounts with the different credit cards and all. I am like helpless at the moment. I will keep on trying to get a free trial account, but if possible, can you guys get your own free trials? To get the free trial, we need to have a credit card. They will deduct 2 rupees initially. and they will credit back the 2 rupees. Okay, they will not take anything back. I mean, they'll not deduct anything apart from 2 rupees from your credit card. Okay,
Yeah.
so this free trial is valid for 30 days, and we can practice seamlessly. So will you be
Visa
able
debit
to?
card.
No debit card, only credit card to use.
No, no, no. I have through debit card Visa.
uh, so is it a credit card, or I am not getting?
Debit card. Debit card.
Debit card is not accepted.
No, no, no. I have. Already I have the account.
You already have a free trial account, is what they're saying.
Yeah, yeah. Free call free trial account through Visa debit card.
Okay, they are accepting from Visa debit cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's nice. I don't know about this. So Microsoft itself, they say in the documentation, will not accept any debit card. Will only accept the credit cards. That's
Okay.
fair enough then. Yeah, you already have, right? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Three
When
three
did you
days
take
back.
this? 3 days back you took
Three
it.
days.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Sahalo? Salahu, sorry. I'm always pronouncing
Uh,
your wrong name.
Actually, I don't have any credit card. I will try with my friends.
Yeah, yeah. So let me know when you're doing that, purchase, in case if you need any help, right? Because I don't want you to get into trouble. You should not use the pay-as-you-go subscription. You should only choose the free trial. Just let me know so that I can help you further on that. Okay?
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay. All right, guys. I think we are good for today. I don't wanted to feed more on today itself. Okay. We'll connect and we'll connect from tomorrow. We'll start the subscription management. That's our first topic in the syllabus. We'll try to give you maybe the for few session, right? You might see some kind of theory, but just to make the concepts clear, I might go through theory, but going forward, it's going to be a more practical, more and more practical, where I'm going to give you a scenario, you are going to implement it, and you will stuck somewhere. I'm going to help you in fixing them. Okay. So this is what it is. Any questions, any concerns, feel free to ping Raju, so he will connect you guys with me. All right. We'll
Okay.
connect tomorrow same time, 6 a.m. IST. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.